Does it have to come to this before we start thinking about safety on the job? Do we really need reminders like this that the work we do can be dangerous unless we're on the alert all the time? Recognizing risk, anticipating accidents that probably won't happen, but do.
There's nothing we can do for it.
Wouldn't you say the time for safety is before this happens to you or somebody you work with? Would you agree that right now is a pretty good time to look ahead at what the future might hold for you? Okay, then here's your chance to take stock of your professional safety awareness. This is a test about survival, based on accidents that have happened and could happen again. You'll be asked a series of multiple-choice questions about some of the hazards of our trade. And your ability to come up with instant right answers may tell you something about your chances of surviving accidents on your job. We're going to consider what happened to 6 different men, all experienced construction workers. Fred Perdue, age 48, once considered a cowboy on the job until a near-fatal accident 3 years ago, plus new family responsibilities, changed him. He was building his first house. Harry Gaines, age 33, 12 years experience. His main outside interest is Little League Baseball. He coaches the team that his son plays on. Sam Haskins, age 54. Extensive experience on construction jobs all over the world. A widower and a grandfather. An avid fisherman. Kent Davis, age 51. A longtime operator, but lacking experience in clearing operations. Nick Eddy, age 44. Nick is a dedicated family man. His wife is expecting their next child in 3 months.
Okay.
Morning, Dutch.
Morning. Bob Starker, age 41. He's worked hard and played just as hard. Liked by everyone, makes good money, and spends it freely. His co-workers think Bob Starker is a very lucky guy. 6 men, all in good health, both physically and mentally. And in each case, the machine was known to be in good mechanical condition. These are the men whose experiences we will consider in the following multiple-choice test. And the choices you will make are the choices they faced. To start, let's go back. Let's reconstruct the events that ended here with Fred Perdue. 2 hours before, Fred had been assigned to shove material over the high wall and widen the haul road that was cut around the face. Fred had not operated the D9 at this location before. More importantly, he did not take the time to check the footing. Both he and the dump man were working hard to prevent material from piling up and slowing traffic. Then it happened. Structure and the safety belt both held, but Fred Perdue died in a long, violent fall because he worked too close to the cliff edge. Which brings the question, how close can you safely work on the edge of a bank? Select one of the following answers. 6 feet from the edge, 1 foot from the edge, no part of tracks over the edge, depends on the footing. Obviously, the answer is D. Before approaching the edge of any embankment, an operator should check the footing for dangerous features. Besides weak spots in the edge, he looks for loose rocks and slide possibilities. He should know if the material is more unstable in dry or wet conditions. He should not let safety devices lull him into a sense of false security. He should keep excess material in front of the blade, raising the blade as he pushes the load off the edge, creating a berm between the tracks and the edge, a cushion he can feel and a warning to stop. He should operate generally perpendicular to the edge. While the blade may extend over, he should never allow his tracks to hang over the edge. Fred Perdue had a choice. How close to the edge to work in unknown footing? His choice, as it turned out, proved fatal. Question number 2. Because heavy rains have stopped work here, Harry Gaines, a driver, is picking up a 955 for transport to a different construction site. The time is 4:05 p.m. Harry wants to get this job done fast and get home. There's an important Little League ball game scheduled for tonight, and he's the coach. Maybe that's why Harry decides not to use the ramps chained to the lowboy. He figures he can save time by loading over the side. At 4:25 p.m., Harry Gaines has a crushed back. Question: which of the following factors do you think caused the accident? Lowboy improperly positioned, loading without proper ramps, slippery footing? The answer to this question is all of the above. The lowboy was positioned at an angle too near the edge of the road. One set of wheels was on a soft shoulder. The other factors, too, played a part in this accident. Because Harry Gaines was in a hurry, he failed to take the extra time to use approved ramps to load the tractor onto the lowboy. And finally, the wet, muddy conditions allowed the tracks to slide on the unstable bed of the lowboy. The rollover protective structure would have prevented serious injury if he had used his safety belt. Operators must always be secured by a properly adjusted safety belt. Harry may coach baseball again, but from a wheelchair. Let's go on to question number 3. This time you will be asked to spot the cause of the accident before it happens. The time is shortly before 11, lunchtime. Sam Haskins usually eats with a friend in his camper because out here there's not much shade.
You see this one? I'm going to show you. I got my tackle box.
You're not kidding me, are you?
Look at this little cutie.
About time we better head now. Let's be with you.
Okay. See you fellas later.
Yeah, we'll see you.
A fatal mistake has been made. Question: can you identify that mistake? Lounging around machines, failure to walk around machine before operating, backing too fast. Relaxing around machines like this is never a good idea. It's definitely a hazard, but in this case, it's not the fatal mistake. Backing too fast, not sounding the horn before starting the engine, was part of the problem, but not the primary mistake by Sam. The answer in this case is B. Sam failed to walk completely around his machine. Had he done this, he would have seen the man behind the rear wheel, and this would not have happened. But because Sam did not check his machine by walking entirely around it before operating, he will live with his mistake the rest of his life. Question number 4. See if you can spot the hazard here. It's a clearing job for highway access to a new hospital site. Kent Davis is operating a D7, skidding out logs. The choker setter is Charlie Sims. A serious accident is about to happen. As operator of this tractor, Kent Davis should have recognized the danger signs. Can you identify the hazard? Snagged cable, limited operator visibility, overloaded cable, failure to clear area of people. The answer is D. The choker setter is in a dangerous position. The wedged logs combined with the cable snagged around the stump, and this was the result. Safe operation is an operator responsibility. In this situation, Kent should have cleared the area before winching the cable in. Kent Davis learned something that day about his own responsibility as an operator. Very few accidents are caused by someone knowingly or consciously violating good job safety procedure. Most everyone feels he knows his job and can do it safely, at least as well as the next guy. Confidence such as this is good, up to a point. Example, question number 5. A manhole is being set on a sewer line. Nick Eddy, a good operator, but somewhat headstrong and inclined to do things his own way.
Boy, Nick. You know, Nick, I don't think we can handle that thing, baby. Look at the size of it. It's bigger than the other pipe.
Now, Bud, who run this machine, you or me?
Yeah, that ain't the idea. We got men in the hole and everything.
I'll say, boy, that pipe you'll ever seen.
a way, you might say Nick was lucky. On this day, no one was killed or even injured. Question: how could this accident have been avoided? By following advice of groundman, by knowing the load limits and tipping point, by keeping the load low and close, by clearing workers from ditch. The answer is all of these. This was an operator error. Nick did not listen to the advice of his groundman, and he misjudged the weight of the load. Also, he attempted to swing and extend the boom at the same time, over the trench with the workmen. Let's see how it should have been done. First, Nick should have cleared all workmen from the ditch area, or maneuvered so that he would not swing the load over them. Second, he should have checked the tipping point in all positions to determine his limits before lifting. Third, the load should have been kept as low and as close as possible, moving the excavator into position instead of swinging the load. Finally, he should have worked with his groundman and not allowed his ego to overcome good judgment. Operator judgment and safe operator procedures would have prevented this. There are a number of hazards on excavation jobs. The smart operator stays a safe distance from the edge of an excavation. He makes sure there is proper shoring or other protection from cave-in. And because excavators usually work near other machines and workmen, an operator is particularly careful of his tail swing. And he should stay well away from overhead lines. Contact with a high voltage line could be fatal. All right, question number 6. The origins of some accidents may have their beginnings long before they happen. Attitudes and habits, once formed, are difficult to change.
Bravo.
Following situation is offered in evidence.
I see you didn't waste any time getting here.
That must be too ahead of you. Honey, bring us a couple over, will you?
Oh, sure, babe.
Just one, Bob. The old lady's waiting on me.
Hey, by the way, where'd the butcher and pick up the Mesa? Oh, yeah. We're going to be up here tomorrow.
Yeah. D9's up there. Everybody do that.
Here you go, sugar.
It's like the last $5. Well, it was that in the park home run, and that little broken bat single that started all over again.
No more for me, Bob. We gotta go.
Sure.
Yeah, the old lady will kill me if I don't get home. See ya.
Sure.
Well, did it turn into a big night last night?
Yeah, last night it did.
I figured as much. Let's get with it.
Are you going to be okay, Bob?
Yeah.
No problem, huh?
No problem.
Okay.
Oh, not bad. Still not bad at all. How you feeling there, Bob?
Feeling any better, Bob?
Not too good at all. Howdy, fellas.
Hi, Dutch.
Hey, Dutch.
How's it going, Tiger?
Oh, pretty good, Dutch.
Feel all right?
Yeah.
Okay, when you finish that cut on the road you've been working on all morning, go up on the mesa and give Tom a hand, will you?
Sure enough.
Good enough.
question, who could have prevented this accident? Bob? Tom? The foreman? The younger operator? The answer, to some extent, all of them. Some may reason that Bob was the sole person at fault. It's true that he should never have been operating in his condition. The younger operator may have prevented it through better control of his machine, taking quicker evasive action. The severity of his injury was undoubtedly increased by a loose safety belt. Perhaps the foreman could have prevented it, since it's his job to talk to each of his operators and determine if they were fit to work. And Tom, Bob's friend, had some obligation to warn him, to try to convince him he should not have worked that day. So in the final analysis, each man had an opportunity to prevent what happened. Each one had a choice, and tragically, each made a wrong choice. That's the end of this safety examination. 6 cases involving 6 men. 6 men who had the wrong answer to a multiple choice of safety. In each incident, you may have spotted other things wrong. You may even disagree on the exact cause. Accidents are like that. Often little things add up, and the accident happens. You probably scored pretty well because there is no penalty for failing this test. Your test comes every day on the job, when there is considerably more at stake. What you've seen happen here doesn't have to happen to you, and it won't happen if you apply your experience, your knowledge to make the right decision. So when it comes to a choice, a multiple choice, you will choose to protect yourself and those around you. Because what safety really boils down to is the choice of living or dying.